Radical Haslam in the dock now, Steve. That's not a typo, that is his name.
This is the reasonable for protesters to call Ian Duncan Smith Tory Scum, a court rules. So, yes. The High Court has rejected an attempt to overturn the acquittal of two protesters. Look, we know he's a Tory, so we can wipe that one off the page.
Yes.
Scum.
Well, he's risen to the surface and stayed stuck to the ground long after he's fought against purpose, so I think that's probably true as well.
You should have defended him. Look,
I'll defend him.
Do you want to make it illegal to use the word scum? Of all the words, I mean, Angela Rayner would be locked up.
I think it's right on the edge of acceptable. I do think it's funny, you know, sometimes there's sort of dehumanising talk the left complain about, that people talk about. Katie Hopkins was essentially the single worst thing that she ever did was say that immigrants in Libya were like cockroaches. Yeah. So that kind of thing is like dehumanising. Scum, I think, is fine. Some of the language that some of the commentators used about Nigel Farage being in the jungle, that he is being normalised for this is abhorrent, that he needs. Was it not disinfecting? I mean, they do sometimes talk about him in a way that
as if he's some sort of radical imam who's preached genocide. It's nonsense. But I mean, I think you're wrong to say this is just the word Tory and the word scum. This is about protected groups, and if we're going to talk about marginalised groups who get attacked by people, I mean, you can laugh, but look at Joe Cox, look at David Amos, two politicians who are attacked for their politics.
Yeah. Well, the security of politicians is a good point. I think you can't ban the phrase Tory scum.
You can't say we can have lots of racism, we'll just provide security to minorities. I mean, that's terrible.
But then look,
is there any suggestion of a physical attack? I think there was.
Well, there was before. So this was someone put a traffic cone on his head. That surely is against the law, at least a parking violation, I imagine. But I take
a wizard.
I take your point about the use of language. The people on the left always say like never kissed a Tory. I've looked into it. The last election, it was like 40% of the vote went to Tories. So there's no way statistically.
Never kissed a Tory on their T-shirt. You never really feel terribly sorry that you've
I'm sure
denied access to
dodged a bullet there. Thanks very much, ladies.